Hello, my friends. Long time. But you know what? I went through a kind of a tough year. Was diagnosed with some serious valve problem in my heart. They wanted to do a open heart surgery on me, and now, the surgeon didn't want to do it. He said I'm too healthy for it, and I feel today much better than I felt maybe even 10 years ago. So let it just stay like this. All my pressures are gone, and I'm ready to make some really, really great videos for you. I had a hard time to focus when this thing was going on, but now it's all good. So here we go. This is the first of my great videos at a different level this time. This video, I didn't practice, so I don't know how long it's gonna be, but judging by my notes, it's probably going to be somewhere between half an hour and an hour, but I guarantee you it's worth every minute of your time. So today I am going to focus on one thing, but that one thing expands into almost everything in your life and your reality. Okay? And not only will I shed light on it, but I will also show you some practical ways to implement it and really change your life and your reality. And I mean it. All right. It's kind of a very obvious what I'm going to say, but I will, like I said, I'll shed a light on it in a different color that we will see details that we don't normally realize. Okay? In the Bible, in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy. If you want the reference, it's chapter 30. It says, and God talks about like the commandments and believing on God. He says, "For this is not hidden from you, nor is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Nor is it beyond the sea, that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. But it is very near to you. It's in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it." So I don't mean in this video any commandments or anything, but the thing I'm going to talk about is exactly like that. It's right in you. It's in front of your eyes. And you can actually do it. You don't need to go to beyond the ocean or into the heavens to find it, okay? So what is it? Okay, let me show you a little picture here. So you see, everything you may ever want, desire, or need to make you happy, fulfilled, be in the flow, and have an amazing life, it's all there. It's all available to you. It's infinite. That's why I put that infinite sign in here. It's infinite. What you can get from the universe, from God, from the collective consciousness, it's infinite. There are no limits on it. It's like the Kabbalah says, the light is there. And like if we look at transurfing, for example, reality transurfing, it says that from the transurfing point of view, all ways seem completely absurd. Transurfing offers a whole new way. Do not ask, do not demand, and do not fight, but just go and take it, i.e., to express the pure intention, designate the goal, and start taking steps towards the goal. Okay? And I even bring you something from, if you Christian, what Jesus said. He said, ask and you shall receive. Right? So all these things basically are telling us it's all there. All you have to do is ask and receive. So what is the problem? Why isn't everybody rich, happy, healthy, and is able to take from that infinite resource. And this is what this video is all about. I want to show you what stands between you and that infinite resource. And once you understand what stands between them, you will be able to deal with it in a better way, because once you see what the obstacle is and you understand, then it's much easier than if you don't know what it is and you just are unable to reach into that resource, right? You see, as humans, we all have the same potential. There is nobody, whether it's President Biden or Putin or Elon Musk or anybody, they all have exactly the same resources that you do, right? They have the same time of the day, like 24 hours, and they have the same kind of a body. They eat the same food. They go to the washroom just like all of us. And then where is the difference? Why can't we be like somebody like that? And you may say, well, they have a different personality, which is valid. And I'll show you that that's part of the equation, but this is not the answer, okay? So let's dig deeper and see why we obtain a few crumbs of this infinity, okay? So I will use a term here that I invented, and we'll call it reduction funnels, as a metaphor to explain this mechanism, this reduction funnels, meaning that they reduce that infinite resource to a size where we really are in our reality. And if we can modify those funnels or expand them, then obviously we will get much more of that, right? So let me switch here to a drawing that I made, and I will explain. No, that is not the one. Okay, actually this is the one, but I'm going to show it to you in a way that I can draw on it, okay? So just give me a second. There we go. So you see up here, this is our resource, the infinite good that comes from the universe, God, you call it whatever you like, right? And then we have the funnels. And this here is you. This is what comes to you after going through those funnels, okay? And as you can see, I drew a line here between the first funnel, which is a personality reduction funnel, and the other three funnels here, which are acquired beliefs, doubts, and fears. And the reason I drew that line, it's very, very important that you get that. This is critical, okay? If we take the personality funnel and say that this is a fixed, like you cannot change it, and we'll talk about it later, it can be changed, but let's say for now, it cannot be modified or changed. So that means that we can only deal with what comes through that funnel, right? Because that funnel we cannot change. So we are dealing only with those three funnels here, right? And I'll tell you something that may actually surprise you. And what it is that if you can achieve and get from that resource everything that comes out here after the personality funnel, and it doesn't matter what your personality is, you will be the happiest person in the world. Okay? And the reason for it is that when you receive your personality, which, like I said in many previous videos, is like a lottery. It's a random thing. You just receive a personality. You are born, and you receive a personality. You don't choose it, and I don't believe any of these stories that your soul made some kind of an agreement. Then that's all easy to say, but you can say anything. It doesn't mean anything. So when you receive a personality, you receive limitations, which is the funnel, but you also receive talents, abilities, many positive things in that personality. So what I'm saying is really that the funnel is selective. It doesn't block everything. It just blocks certain things, but also opens up other things completely to you. And the way this universe is created by the programmer is that you are expected to use your talents, the ones past the personality, to its max. If you receive the talent to be a musician or anything else, it's your purpose of life in this reality to use that talent and utilize it, bring it to the max that you can. When you do that, you fulfill the purpose of life, and because of that, the universe, the programmer, reciprocates with you, and you have like super amazing life. So what that means is that we have to deal with those three then, because those are the ones that are in our way and are not letting us to really achieve everything that comes through the first funnel, right? All the good that comes through that yellow personality funnel, it doesn't let us get it, okay? And like I said earlier, it's not coincidence that this is how it works. It will make you super happy because this is what you are expected to do. And everything that you do in this reality that comes closer to what it was created for, automatically you will get more from that reality. And I'll give you an example because it's not necessarily good and bad, okay? So you have to be very careful not to say, oh, if I do good, this is like, I'm fulfilling. So walk away from this religious thing. There's nothing to do with good and bad. It's only using your talents and being active and creating, okay? Not just sitting there and doing nothing. Now, the last funnel, or the first funnel here, this one, the personality one, okay, it can also be modified and changed. It's very hard, but this is already to get to a level that very few in history or in this world achieved. But it's possible too, and we'll talk about that too. But like I said, that's optional. You don't have to deal with it. 99% of the people don't need to deal with it to have a great life and everything perfect. But if you do want to really go higher and become like somebody who is very famous, whether from history or from current people, then you can try and expand or modify that funnel as well. Okay, let me come back here to myself. And, do you think that your success in life or failure has anything to do with your age, situation, pendulums, external forces, etc.? So I'll show you a short clip here from the Matrix to answer that question.
How did I beat you? You're too fast. Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now? Again.
Okay, so you see the same way that in the Matrix, Morpheus tells Neo that, it's not you fighting here in this simulated reality, because that's all simulated in a computer in the movie, right? whether you win or lose has nothing to do with your physical abilities. And then you ask him, do you think it's air you're breathing here, right? Because it's simulated. And I'm telling you the same thing. Do you think that your success or failure has anything to do with your age, your situation, pendulums, or external forces? And the answer is no. Same as the answer is no for Neo, right? It has nothing to do with that. It's only his mind. Because his mind is the one that limits him, and he loses that fight on and on with Morpheus. And I'll give you another example. And this is something I read about probably 20, 30 years ago, and it's stuck in my mind, you know. They did an experiment. They wanted to see if people adjust themselves to a certain income by the comfort zone that they are in. So they went to a large company and that had a few thousand salespeople, and they took a group of salespeople, I think it was something like 100. And of course, they didn't tell them anything, but these people at that time were making roughly $2,000 a month, which was something, you know, like $500 base salary and $1,500 in commissions. So they modified that program for them in such a way that without changing any input from them or how much they work, they would start to make $3,000 to $3,500. And you know, people don't complain when they start to get more money, so it was all good. But over a period of 6-7 months, that group of 100 people adjusted their work habits back to $2,000. So that means they started to work much less than they worked before because they were comfortable with the $2,000. And that was real. That was done by a big research company. And what it really taught me, again, that it's all in your hands. Because it works the other way around too, right? So you choose a comfort zone, and that's that. You know, people say to me, I have, by the way, now passed the 1,000 clients, people that I talk to. So I got some experience now. And people say to me many times, you know, I want to be rich. I want to be, like I ask them, what do you want? That's a question that I ask many people. What do you really want? So first of all, most people know what they don't want, but they don't really know what they want. It's a funny thing. But many say, you know, I want to be rich. I want to be financially independent. I want to be happy. I want to be fulfilled. But this is all empty slogans unless you move towards it every day. If you don't take steps and do something towards those goals, something specific, it's not going to happen. Okay? Because you see, you create your reality. And I don't know how many of you are new here, how many of you watched my previous videos when I talk about that line on the iPad where I draw a line and I'm asking, did I draw that line? And what I show in there is that you create your reality and you think you create it physically like here, but you don't. You just create it in your mind and then you send it over to the collective consciousness, to the programmer, and it comes back as your reality. So whatever you send up there, this is what you get. And what you send there is actually cooked in your head, in your consciousness. Now, talking about reality transurfing, there are two paths for that success I'm talking about. And that has nothing to do with the funnels. Suppose that you fixed the funnels and you expanded them and everything works for you. Still, there are two ways, two paths. And if we use reality transurfing, he calls them outer intention and inner intention. And you can call them many ways. You know, if you're not familiar with reality transurfing, you can say there is a way where I count on God, I count on magic, okay? Or I do everything myself. Like if I'm an engineer and, I plan every step, then I do it what we call by inner intention. And like the difference really, okay, first of all, both ways are legit for our purpose. So from a perspective of happiness and fulfillment, you will achieve both ways. The difference is that if you go with the outer intention, you will achieve much greater things that you didn't expect, that you couldn't plan by yourself. The universe will deliver things to you which you by yourself could not plan or imagine. Okay, so that's the difference. Both of them will bring you happiness, fulfillment, success, and you will feel in the flow. Now, the main factor that determines really if you do it with outer intention or inner intention is usually what we call the ego. If you have a very big and strong ego, you will have a very hard time to do it by outer intention, because you feel that you are capable, I plan everything, I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to achieve it. And then you will achieve what Vadim Zeland, the author of Reality Transurfing, he calls it like you will be able to build a house from old bricks that were taken out from an older house. But you won't be able to build a house with new bricks. And again, it's not going to affect the output for you because you wouldn't know the difference. It's only like if you do it the other way, then you will realize the difference. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. But I want to bring it up here so you are aware of it. So let us. I will use two examples, and I always use Donald Trump and Elon Musk because I actually read their biographies many times, and I'm very familiar with their personalities. So it's easier for me to analyze the situation. So I'll use the two of them to show you outer intention and inner intention. Okay. Actually, I was going to interrupt the video here for a minute or so and let you think which one does it by inner intention and which one of them does it by outer intention. So I'll give you 10 seconds, think about it, see what answer you will come up with. All right. Now, keep in mind also that both of them took from the infinite only what their personality allowed. So whatever they achieved, it was after the yellow funnel. They did not go past that yellow funnel. I will bring some other examples later maybe for who did, but they did not, okay? So let's see, analyze each one and apply what we learn here to ourselves. Very important. So first and foremost, both of them decided that it was possible. Whatever they wanted, their goal was, whatever they wanted to achieve, they both decided that it was possible. They didn't have doubts, telling themselves, well, it's hard, it's across the ocean like the Bible says, or it's in the heavens, or, they just said, this is possible. And it's very important that it also goes into your subconscious, that you decide that's possible. If it's not possible, you'll find out later. You don't need to say it in advance. One of my sons is like that. Whatever I say, he says, oh, that's not possible. I say, wait, you didn't try it yet. No, it's not possible. No. I don't know if this is before or after the personality funnel, but so let's look at Elon Musk, okay? If you read one of his biographies, you will realize that he was not a rocket expert or a car expert or any of this, or solar expert or AI expert. He was an engineer, just like, any engineer. He went to school, he studied engineering, so he got a solid foundation in science and engineering, right? And he also did not have the money. Like he wasn't, like he didn't inherit any big fortune or anything. And he did not have the money, even after his first big venture, which was PayPal. He was a partner there and he sold his share. The amount of money that he received there was not even 1% of what's required to build a car company or a rocket company. Because those companies are in a space where the competitors are worth hundreds of billions. And if you want to go and compete in there, you have to come up with some very, very substantial money, not millions. You have to come up with tens of billions. And he did not have that. But yet he decided it's possible. And even though he didn't know, like he wasn't an expert on those topics, he figured, I will learn as I go, And because he believed it's possible, it was easier for him to convince other people that it's possible. And the way he did it, you see, instead of saying, I'm going to build an electric car company, we'll come up with a car that everybody buys. Now I'm talking as if he was talking to investors, say, right? I will design a car, electric car, which will be really popular. Everybody will buy it, and we will do this, and your investment will make big profit, and so on, right? Or when he went into the rocket business, he didn't say to investors, listen, we're going to make a better rocket that will be more efficient and we'll paint it in a nicer color. No, what he did, and he believed in this, what he's saying, and what I'm going to say now. It's not that he said it just for the investor. He said, I am going to save the world from the pollution and global warming and everything because I'm going to force the existing car companies to make electric cars because I'll make a good electric car and people will realize that electric cars are good. And that will force the car. So my mission is not to make an electric car for profit. My mission is to save the world, okay, from the pollution that's destroying it right now. Gas, whatever they call them, the gases that block the heat from escaping, it makes a big difference whether you go to investor or to people and say, I'm going to make a better car and come invest with me, or you say, listen, we are going to save the world. It's a big difference. Same with the rockets. He didn't say, I'm going to make a better rocket. He said, look, there is a chance that humanity is going to destroy itself because we have all these nuclear weapons and all that, or there may be some natural disaster like global warming, and everybody will die here. And I want humanity to survive. So my mission is to establish a colony on Mars, so humanity has an extension, and if something happens here, humanity will survive. And that's a much bigger thing than saying, I'm going to make a rocket. So you see, by setting goals which are very, very high, you distinguish yourself from all the others. You get people excited. Like if you look at Elon Musk, the excitement he created is unbelievable. And his companies and his stocks and everything, they today, I don't know how it is, but they traded at hundreds and thousands of times more than they were really worth. Like it may be a little bit different today, but a couple of years ago, his Tesla on the market was valued more than I think Volkswagen and Toyota and GM combined, which is crazy, right? Those companies are established and they sell for billions of dollars, and Tesla didn't sell that much, not even 10% of that. So to bring it down to earth, when you set goals for yourself, don't be afraid to look at the bigger thing. Don't just say, I'm going to make now, I don't want to make too much. I want just a little, God, I don't want, I'm not asking for that much. I just want something for me so I can, feed myself and have a car. And because you will achieve nothing that way. Always look at the big things that you want. Put it in a much bigger package, bigger picture, okay? Because that's how you will activate the outer intention, and that's how you will excite everybody, including yourself, to move. You cannot achieve by trying to be small and believing and hoping that if you trying to be small and ask for less, there's much higher chances you get it. No, it's exactly the opposite, okay? See, like for like I said before, for an investor, it's much easier to connect to saving the world than to help somebody build a new car company, okay? So the point I'm making here is that the size of your success, and there is a line that there is no success if you go below it, if you think too small, okay? It's not even linear. When you go too small, the success goes away. So the size of your success depends on the size of your thinking, your imagination. Again, we're coming to you, creating your reality, okay? In small-minded, it means small or zero success. And many people feel very comfortable to be small-minded. And, if you don't change it, you may need a coach or somebody, a mentor to actually pull you, just like sometimes we pull the dog, on the leash because he doesn't want to go. You need somebody to pull you. And eventually you'll be able to do it by yourself. So, it's not easy to change that mindset, but it's 100% possible. Now, looking at Trump, on the other hand, what he used really is persuasion. And he also came up with a very big picture, right? I'm going to save America. I'm going to make America great again. He didn't say, I'm going to fix the auto industry, or I'm going to fix this, or I'm going to make sure that the inflation is lower. No, he said, I'm going to make America great again. Big picture. Okay? And he used a totally different method, though. I'll give you an example. Most people don't know that. I read it in a book. Somebody that wrote a book about Trump and his campaign. And, take, for example, that wall that he said he's going to build on the border of Mexico, right? When the debate started, it was for the candidate, who is going to be the candidate for the Republican Party before even the elections, he came up with this thing in the televised debate. He said, I'm going to build a wall that will stop everything from coming across the border from Mexico, all those drug dealers and criminals and so on. And people said he's crazy. First of all, how can you build a wall? I don't know how many hundreds of miles it is. You cannot build a wall. There is hills and there is rivers. There's no way you can build a wall. And where are you going? The debate started there with the other candidates, right? Christie and other people there. They said, well, where are you going to get the money? How are you going to build it? Da. And what they didn't realize, that as soon as they started arguing about the details, how to make it, they actually confirmed that the wall is needed. And who brought that idea? It was Donald Trump. So all of a sudden, he was the leader of this whole debate, because he brought an idea that nobody thought about. And now they are arguing how to implement it, right? They tell him it's not possible to implement. But by arguing that, they basically confirming that his idea is great, except it cannot be executed. And that's why he won the elections, because he used it all the time, over and over and over, in many other areas. So the question now is, which one used outer intention and which one used inner intention? So I'll tell you, I think that both of them actually used outer intention, because neither one of them planned the details. They just threw up this big picture thing, and then they started to walk towards it in slow motion, right? With small things. Like Donald Trump, he announced his candidacy. He said, this is what I want to be the president, and everybody was laughing. He was getting at that time like 2% chance that he will become the president. And he didn't have a plan exactly how he's going to do it. He just, he started the first step. He registered himself and he started to go into the debates. He raised money, and the rest is history. And the same thing with Elon Musk. He did not have like a precise plan how he's going to make it. I don't know if you remember when he was sleeping in those factories because he couldn't make enough Tesla Model 3. And things, were not working for him. He was trying to make 5,000 a week or something, and he couldn't reach even 1,000. And same with the rockets. He didn't have a chief engineer. And that's why so many rockets exploded, because he was asked in an interview, how come so many rockets exploded? And he said, well, my chief engineer quit because he didn't believe we can make it. And I had to go and become the chief engineer. And I don't know that much about rockets. So this is why they exploded so much. I had to learn, on the job. So again, he did not plan his steps exactly, but he threw it into the universe, and the universe came back, and look where he is today, both of them. I mean, never mind where Donald Trump got himself into, he probably get out of it anyway, but both of them achieved goals which are totally, totally imaginary, right? So this is how you use outer intention. And I didn't really bring you here an example of inner intention, but I'm sure that you get it. You know, if you are the type of a person that says, no news, good news, then you are not ready for a change. And I have people like this around me. I say, how are you today? You know, I say, oh, there's nothing new right now. Oh, no news is good news. It means that. And I say, no news is very bad news, because it means that we haven't changed anything in a while, and the clock is ticking. You know, time is not stopping, and we didn't do anything. So how is it good news? Again, I'm trying to show you the side where what limits you. So to summarize, I'll give you a practical roadmap to execute from my teaching how I work with people, because this is one of my programs, and I'm actually going to probably cancel most of my other programs because I want to focus on this one here and make it into courses and programs and focus on this, like on this area, on those limitations that those funnels are causing and how to overcome them. So the first thing you want to do is decide what you really want. And again, it may sound like a simplistic question, but it's not. Like I said, most people I work with don't really know what they want, except they will give you those generalities. You know, I want to be financially independent, I want to have a relationship, and I want to be healthy. Those are the three things. But it's general. It doesn't mean anything, okay? Like when I ask you what do you want, you have to decide really what do you want. You may have to spend a week to really find out what you really want. It's not easy. It's a very tough question, okay? So I would say look at your skills, abilities, past successes, passions, and anything that people will be happy to pay for, okay? And you will be shocked, like how many things you know that you don't give any credit to, that people will pay big money for those skills if you present them properly, you package them properly, and then it will make you happy and it will make them happy. So the thing is that with those funnels, like the doubt and the fear, instead of trying to reprogram them, try to write a new program, and it will override the old program. Don't try to reprogram the old program. This is a waste of time, at least in my personal opinion. If you go to some psychologist and try to recreate your past and try to see, this is a waste of time. I think that the right way to do it, you have to overwrite it with the new program to show your subconscious that has the old program that it's not right, because the subconscious will adjust immediately. If you can show the subconscious that something can be done that before it believed it cannot be done, from that moment it will always believe that it can be done. The old program is gone, okay? Now the second step, I would say, you create a list of options based on what we talked about previously, like your skills, your abilities. So you create a list of options and what you can do to, like I say, take a sharp turn, break out of your limiting reality, your limited life, and remember, everything goes. Don't try to say, I just want to have one cow and have a little bit milk for my family. No, I want to have a big farm. I want to have all the machines, and I want to sell milk, to the whole country. Think big. Don't think small. You can always, downsize, but you cannot upsize once you start with a small thing. So make a list of what is possible for you to do, and like I said, everything goes. Make a big list. Then, you narrow it down to 1, 2, or 3 things that make the most sense from the whole list. And then, you can pick one. And, I am here if you want to work on that. I'm happy to work with any one of you to go through that process. There is also a method called the Disney method, and you can find it on my website. It's something that the Walt Disney invented as far as a system to decide what kind of project out, when they have many choices, which one to do. And then you pick one. And again, it doesn't have to be something that you believe that can be done. If you don't believe it can be done, it's fine. It's even better. And then what you do, again, reality transurfing language, is put one foot in front of the other. You start moving towards it. Okay? And you will be amazed and shocked how the universe will reciprocate, and you will get so much help and so much, so many surprises. People will run into your path that will offer to help you, to give you money, and it's unbelievable. It happened to me. If you listen to my other videos, how I managed to get into Canada. I came here as a tourist with no money, no education or anything, and I managed to stay here. And I didn't marry anybody here. That would be the easy way. Okay, some more advice. Don't wear masks. Most people wear masks. And what it means is that they present with their behavior and action, they present somebody different than what they really are. And the reason for it is, because we always believe that we are not good enough in something. So we're not happy enough, we're not friendly enough. So we try to fix it by wearing a mask. So we wear a mask, or I'm always happy. Yeah? Or, and we are programmed that way by the system, because everything that they sell you here in this world is by telling you that you are lacking something. Look, for example, on cosmetics. Why do they sell you cosmetics? Because you don't look good enough. Otherwise, why do you need cosmetics, right? Or why do they sell you this kind of vitamins and pills and all kinds of stuff? Because you're lacking something. And we become programmed that we're lacking all the time, that something is wrong with us. And that's why we start to wear masks. The problem with the masks is, there's many problems, but I'll give you two major ones. Is that, number one, you attract to yourself the wrong people, because they get attracted to your mask, not to you. And after a while, it can be a month, can be a year, they figure out that this is not really the person that they thought it is, because eventually the mask comes off when you start to work with somebody or have a relationship, and then the thing blows up, because they find out that behind the mask there's somebody else. The second problem is that it takes tremendous amount of energy, and you don't feel it, to wear that mask. Doesn't happen automatically. Your mind, your subconscious continuously works on it to make sure that the mask is fitted properly and doesn't show what's behind it. And that energy you could use to succeed in many other areas. So, what I'm saying here is basically, it's not sustainable. And if you remove the mask, and you have to be vulnerable, like if you have any weaknesses or vulnerabilities, show them, because then you will attract the people that actually will like you because of what you really are. And you will feel much better about yourself. You don't have to play the role anymore. So that's one thing, masks, okay? Another thing is the blaming game. I find that many people, and I'm going to implement actually a questionnaire, because people that blame others or other circumstances for their problems are very, very hard to work with. So, when you blame anything or anybody, what you're really doing, you are relinquishing control to create your own reality. Because what are you saying? You are saying, I could not do this, or I could not achieve this because the government did this, and my parents did this, and my friend, you know, I thought he was my friend, and he took all my money, and etc., etc., etc. What you are really doing, you are saying that I don't have control over my reality. All these other circumstances, the pendulums, whatever, they have the control. So how do you expect to create any kind of a reality if you say in advance that you don't have that power to create that reality because others have that power? So unless you take full responsibility for everything that ever happened to you, you cannot be the master of your reality. And another thing is, you know, and this is where, again, we usually need a mentor or a coach or somebody to help us, is that because we are trying, it's a catch, we are trying to fix something using the same thing, right? We are trying to fix ourselves using ourselves. And it's very, very tough. It's like pulling yourself out of the water by trying to pull your hair. It doesn't work. You need somebody else to pull it for you. Now, another thing you have to understand is that manifestations, when you create something, unless it's very personal and only affects you, cannot be instant. Because otherwise the world wouldn't exist. It would be such a chaos. If everybody could manifest everything, can you imagine what would happen in this world, like instantly? So manifestations work, but they take time. Because reality, the programmer with the program has to match all these things with millions of other, you know, components to make it happen. And it cannot happen instantly. So if you're trying to manifest something and you expect it to happen in, in a day or two or three or a week, it's not going to happen. Unless it's very personal, has only effect on you. That can happen like instantly. But as soon as it involves other people, it cannot happen instantly. So you have to be patient. If you want to change something, it takes time. And if you observe, you will see that it changes. You will see the change happening, but it's not going to happen like instantly. So be patient. Well, look, there was a lot of material to digest here in this video. You can always come to me. I have a link in my description of the video. I'm also going to put a link in there for you to have a book that I'm going to give as a gift. I did it in the other video, but this time I have a different book. So if you look in the description, you will see it. You can go to my site there. You have to enter your email, and if you enter that before, don't worry, it's not going to duplicate. It will just erase it, and you will get a very, very good book that will reinforce and give you much more information how to implement everything that I was talking about in this video. So I expect you actually to watch this video more than once. I think it takes time to digest, to absorb. And keep in mind that everything I'm telling you here is actually something that I tested. I know it works. I didn't want to make this video until I took a couple of months and I worked with people through this method, and I saw that it's very, very powerful, and that's why I decided to make that video. All right. So take care. Tomorrow is the Jewish New Year, so I wish you all, to the whole world, the best year that ever was and the worst one of all the years that come after it. And I will see you. Another thing I wanted to say is, let the real force be with you and grant you access to that abundance, that infinite. Take care.